today we have Lucy Cervino, and she is with Perk Beauty Lab. And I just got out of the shower, I'm going to be honest, and I used this coffee scrub that she sent me, and it's in this cute little silver tin, and I love scrubs. I always have, and I really like coffee scrubs. It's so invigorating, and it kind of leaves, I wouldn't say a film, but like it leaves your skin feeling like super soft, but almost like moisturized, but not like a lotion. It's kind of hard to describe, but I feel like everyone should use coffee scrub once.
Hey beauties, welcome to the Clean Beauty Podcast. Did you know that unlike most everything else in America, cosmetics are not regulated? This means that corporations can use thousands of potentially harmful ingredients that I personally know can cause health problems. I'm your host, Cassandra McClure. I've been in the beauty business for over 10 years as a celebrity makeup artist that advocates for safer and more sustainable cosmetics. Join me each week for important news, exclusive interviews, and more on the clean beauty revolution.
This episode is made possible in part by my work with BeautyCounter. As a consultant, I now have freedom and a life I've always wanted with a flexible schedule, a career where I get to work from home, and I get way more time with the people that I love. At BeautyCounter, my job is simple: to get safer products into the hands of everyone. It fulfills me to change lives for the better. I've also met amazing women and became friends with many new ones that have joined my team. If you are ready to up-level your life and chase your dreams, shoot me an email at cassandra@cleanbeautypodcast.com. Speak soon. So tell us about the coffee scrubs. They're recycled and you guys give back. So like tell us a story, like how did you get started and why the name Perk?
So I'll just start from the beginning. I grew up in Orange County, California, and I decided to go to college in the Midwest to a small school in Minnesota called College of St. Benedict, where I got involved in an entrepreneurship program and met my co-founder, Precious Drew. And we kind of just got brainstorming about the idea. The goal of this program was to launch a business. And we wanted to take it one step further beyond solving an issue. We wanted to do something that had purpose and had meaning. And to us, that meant creating a sustainable green product. Now, we kind of came up with the idea. As college students, we love drinking coffee. It became a staple in our lives for surviving our college years. And we had multiple coffee shops on campus where we began to recognize the waste that was going on with the coffee grounds there. Now, it's really, really common for people to now realize to throw their used coffee cup in the recycling. More commonly now, people are refusing plastic straws at restaurants or at Starbucks. And although that was really common, we saw how many coffee grounds, buckets and buckets of coffee grounds were being thrown away each day from our coffee shops. So we wanted to come up with an idea of how we could offset that waste and create something new out of it. And for us, that is where we came up with the idea for upcycling coffee grounds to create a natural handmade coffee scrub for our company, Perk.
That's so cool. So when I think of something recycled, I think like it's like goes through these processes to make sure it's clean and all this stuff. But like, so take us through like how it works. Like, how do you guys, and do you get the product? Do they just get it donated? Like they donate it to you and you go pick them up, and how are you scaling?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So for us, it's actually a key word between recycling and upcycling. So when something is recycled, it goes through a process of being broken down and created into something new. For upcycling, you're taking something that could be considered garbage or waste and creating another purpose for it to prolong its life. So actually how it works is it's really cool. We are partnered with 2 coffee shops, one in Minnesota and one here in California. And these coffee shops, they just throw them away. So it's actually not too hard for us to get the grounds. They do, I guess you could consider it a donation. They do donate the grounds to us to use for our scrub. We go pick it up and we go through a process of drying out the grounds in order to make sure that we kill any type of thing that may be left over and to completely suck out the moisture out of the ground so we can use it for our scrub.
Wow, that's awesome. So is there a facility that you guys do all of that in?
Right now, they're homemade. We actually are looking to hopefully scale into manufacturing soon, but we like the small scale of creating things personally in small batches. That way, it has a more intimate and personal feel to it, and that's something that our customers really like as well.
Awesome. So after you dry them out, and then how do you grind them up? Just a regular coffee grinder?
Yeah, so actually, when we receive the grounds from the coffee, they've already been grinded. So that's really the great thing about the thing that differentiates our coffee scrub from most on the market is that a lot of companies that create coffee ground scrubs use them before they're used. Now, we've noticed with our research that actually post, sucking out the water or using these coffee grounds to create your latte or an iced coffee, they still contain enough caffeine in them to have an effect on our skin and have that tightening aspect to them that kind of fills in those fine lines and wrinkles. And so we have no problem using them after they're used in the coffee shop, and therefore they come to us pre-ground. So we have noticed though that when we dry them out, they do kind of get a little bit finer, and that helps a little bit too with the texture of the scrub.
Oh, okay. Because I did notice that there were some very fine pieces in there, whereas other coffee scrubs I felt like maybe were a little harsher. And so I did notice that. Okay. So after they're dried out, then what?
Then we use kind of a mixture, or a miracle mixture, so to say, of some essential oils that we have handpicked based on their qualities and their effects that they have in skincare. So we've made sure that every ingredient we choose to put into any of our products to come and in our current product, our coffee scrub, has a perk and a purpose. And what that means for our customers is that every ingredient you're using in our scrub is going to benefit you in some way, and it's going to serve a purpose. So some of our ingredients are coconut oil, coffee grounds, vitamin E, tea tree oil, and these are all things that are well known within the skincare industry to reduce the appearance of redness, to tighten skin, to reduce the appearance of fine lines, and other things like that. And so we choose to use those to make sure that our products are well-rounded and that we don't have any fillers that other companies might put in their coffee scrubs.
That is so cool. Okay, so how are you guys giving back? And so is that where the name Perk came from?
Yeah, so the name Perk actually came from our initial coffee shop that we got our grounds from was from our college, and it was named Clemens Perk. But Perk, just when tied in with the concept of coffee, gives you this feeling of kind of waking up and rejuvenating your skin. And we wanted it to have kind of a light, fun, energetic vibe to our company. And we really liked the way that it sounded. So we went with it. And I think that it'll work for any other products that we continue to put out in the future.
And correct me if I'm wrong, is Perk the Friends coffee shop, or is that a different name?
That is, yeah, it's called the Friends Coffee Shop. I think is just called Perk.
Oh, Central Perk? Or
Central Perk.
Yeah.
You're right.
Okay, because that's what it reminded me of when I saw and heard the name for the first time. I'm like, oh, is that from Friends?
Yeah, it is Central Perk. And the coffee shop on our college ground was called Clemens Perk after our college library.
That's so cool. Okay, so how long have you been doing this now?
So we came up with the idea in April of 2017. Me and my co-founder, we both graduated in May of 2018. So it's been just about over a year now. Wow. I want to say almost 2 years. Yeah.
That's so cool. So whose house do you do all of this at?
So she still lives in Minnesota. That's where she's from. And after we graduated, I came home. So we run them separately. She kind of works on the Midwest division. I work out here. And when I came home from college, it was kind of my job to get the ball rolling here. And that actually just started with getting a partnership with a coffee shop and kind of getting going on getting the word out about our product.
That's great. So I think our Rising Tide leader retreat is in Minnesota this year. So I'll have to meet her if I go out there.
Oh, she'll love that. You would have to meet her. That would be awesome. The Midwest is a great place. Everybody's super nice, very welcoming. It's a great environment to be in, and business is up and well there too.
That's awesome. So you have this one product, right? Is there different ones? Like you said that there's different oils that you use. So is there different, like the one I got are there different like scents or different ingredients?
We don't. Right now, we just have our Perk coffee scrub. They all contain the same ingredients: vitamin E, tea tree oil, lavender. So it is a very unique fragrance and our original flagship product too. So that is our first product that we ever put out. And we are looking into kind of researching into making some other products like extracting oils from coffee grounds. We would love to, and it's something we kind of played around with when we were thinking of launching Perk. And that is extracting our own oils, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with the process. It's a very grueling process to extract your own essential oils.
Oh, wow.
But on top of that, there's tons of waste that goes into flower shops too, into florists. So we thought of ideas of, maybe taking some lavender plants that for people at flower shops are not up to standard, but for us, we could easily extract the oils from that and use them for our products too. And they would be wasted if not otherwise used.
Wow. Okay. So I was saying recycling, but it's upcycling.
Yes. Yeah.
It is really sustainable. And I do have a mesh little thing on the bottom of my drain so that it doesn't go down, but it's not bad for the environment though, right?
No, it's not bad. And, a lot of people, that's a good question that I can address here right now too. A lot of people are concerned about when coffee grounds are going down their drains in their home. And we've found that the amount you use shouldn't really have an effect on your drainage in your homes. But a lot of people are worried about that because coffee grounds can be known to clog drains. But we found that that's usually with people who are heavy coffee drinkers, make it at home, and then throw their own grounds, daily down their kitchen sinks and things like that. So
Okay. I'm like religious about cleaning out my little mesh drain thing every time because I have such an old house and I don't I don't even want someone to have to come over here and like take it out. But okay, I'm just making sure because I read up on it a little and I heard that it was totally fine and that it wasn't bad for the planet versus like, the microbeads, like the plastic little things or like other types of scrubs that people traditionally have used or been sold.
For us, the biggest thing for our scrub is making sure that, when we initially launched, we're still young entrepreneurs and our business is still very young. We are still learning things every step of the way. And when we initially launched, our packaging was plastic and a huge, huge taboo to do plastic in as creating a sustainable product. You don't want to have it in packaging that hurts the environment. So that is why we, transition to our tin packaging. And ways that we want to kind of promote that and market it is after you're done with our scrub, we want people who use and love our scrub to reuse the packaging for other things, whether that be putting a plant in it or using it as a storage bin for candy at your home or whatever you'd like. And so we are taking steps every day. We're thinking of ways that we can further our impact and make sure that we are making it a positive one on the environment and for consumers as well. And we got rid of our plastic packaging. You may have noticed that we stuff our shipping packages with used newspaper anything we can do to have a positive impact and reuse things is something that we're really passionate about doing.
Yeah, I did notice that when I received the package, and I noticed it was, it wasn't an oversized package with like a little tin inside. It was like just the right size that it fits in, and there wasn't a big pamphlet or a bunch of other waste inside or plastic. It was just very simple and just the product, and you kind of let the product shine. And I get a lot of PR packages and a lot of things from different companies, and there's so much waste and boxes, and I know that they're trying to create this great presentation, but I end up throwing it away. And now as a consumer, I feel guilty, and I don't think that's how anyone wants their consumer to feel. Like it's nice for the moment, but I feel like now is like such a great time to let the product shine. And now the consumer feels so good about only throwing away that little, or recycling the little packet that it came in. So that's great that you're on your way doing that. So what's next for you guys? What are you working on? Anything else? My first thought was like, oh my gosh, I wish there was like a little lip scrub that came with this, because I'm obsessed with lip scrubs.
That would be awesome. That's such a great idea. And you can use our scrub as a lip scrub if you wanted to. It's totally safe for that.
I did.
But
in the shower.
I think the next thing that is the most important step for our business to grow and kind of scale is to look into creating additional products to expand our product line. And that's something that it comes with a challenge, because wanting to create skincare products based off of upcycled ingredients is difficult. It's a difficult thing to come up with. It takes time. It takes a lot of researching. It takes a lot of us creating products and testing them and going back to the drawing board. But it's something that I'm super passionate about, and I know that my co-founder is as well. And so we're going to do what it takes to keep putting out products that are sustainable and meet our mission. And we hope that everybody continues to love them.
Okay. And how much are your scrubs? And is there just one size?
Yes. So right now our scrubs are $20. It comes in an 8-ounce jar, which should last you anywhere from 60 to 90 days. But we put vitamin E, which is a natural preservative oil. We don't put any preservatives in there. So it's very important to kind of take care of it and make sure that you're taking the right steps. It does not need to be refrigerated, but, heat and light is one of the strongest components that can kind of break down essential oils, which is why we have it in kind of a closed tin. But leaving it out in sunlight or anything like that can kind of break down the product and the ingredients in it. But yeah, what was the question again?
So if they have this tin in the shower, like obviously I used it and kind of water got in there and closed it back up and put it in my shower, it's going to be fine. Like bacteria won't grow in there, right? Because it's closed. Well, I just think of like dark places and then mold grows, but you're saying light breaks it down. So
yeah, light actually breaks down essential oil. So your scrub is pretty safe actually in a dark space, but we've gotten pretty good compliments on how well our scrub holds up in the shower. So there should be no issue at all with it.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to keep using it. And how often do you recommend that is it safe or gentle enough to use every single day?
I would say no. Generally, the recommendation for exfoliating is anywhere from 2 to 3 times a week. When it comes to scrubs, there's a lot of ideas out there, and I guess you could say advice on what you should do. But my biggest advice for people is listen to your skin and do what it's asking you to do. So for some people, that may be exfoliating every day. For some people, your skin is very sensitive. So you want to make sure that you're treating it carefully and gently. I personally scrub anywhere from 4 to 5 times a week, and my skin is fine with that. For some people, that may be 1 to 2 times a week. So I would say test it out on your skin, see how your body reacts to it. And most importantly, just listen to what your skin is asking for. If you're having dryness, maybe you could use it a little bit. But yeah, That would be my biggest recommendation. Listen to your skin, but the general recommendation is three times a week.
Okay, cool. And then did we get into kind of where the tins from, or like why you guys decided on tin, and then what would have been the other alternative to that?
Well, we decided on 10 because we really wanted just something that would last a long time. It's not sustainable in the sense that it's an upcycled material, but it is sustainable in the sense that it's not going to break down and you can get many uses out of it. So we wanted our customers to have something that even after the scrub was gone, they could use. It's a multi-purpose tin. We're looking to kind of in the future creating some type of subscription service or an account service where people can sign up. And after you purchase your scrub, you can actually just receive or reorder your scrub through a refillable option. And that would be packaged in some sort of biodegradable material. That way you can keep reusing your tin and you don't have to rebuy it each time.
Ooh, I love that idea. That's really cool. I do know that there are a couple places now that are doing that in Canada where you like get your bottle and then you can go reuse it. Like you can go into the store and get your like conditioner or shampoo, just use your old bottle and then you save like, I don't know, 10 or 15%. And I like now how more coffee places are like bring in your mug and you save 10 or 15% as well. Like I know Starbucks is starting to do that. I don't know about other coffee shops, but I really like the idea of reusing. And I do keep all of my tins and glassware now from all the companies I've been working with. And it is really cool because some of them sit in a drawer and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to use it yet for. And then I'll be like, ooh, I could use it for this or that. Which is really cool from going on a little trip. Like you said, like candies or my jewelry. I use like my BeautyCounter little jar for that. I put like my jewelry when I'm traveling. There's so many different ways that you can incorporate it, or instead of having like makeup bags in your purses, you could have a couple different little jars or tins. So I really do like that. And I do know that if a lot of companies, when you use plastic, if you reuse it with like a cream or gel or any sort of liquid, it's actually not meant to be used that way. Like most plastics are single use. And so especially for anything you're going to drink out of, eat out of, or even cosmetic things, a lot of them, you have to really check and make sure that you're not putting in anything that, or even lotions and things like that, because the plastics do break down and it can be harmful. And then the plastics start to seep into whatever you have in the container. So I really do like that you're using tin. And it's such a great size too. It's like, I can fit it in my entire hand. Like it is a really nice size. So cheers to you guys for doing such an amazing thing. I just love it.
Thank you. I completely agree going back to what you say about the plastic. You want to be really careful with some of the products you receive. When you look around kind of your beauty, your makeup counter, what's in your bathroom, you'd be surprised at how many items are packaged in much less single-use plastic, let alone plastic in general. And you do want to be really careful if you are choosing to reuse them. As you said, Cassandra, a lot of them do start breaking down and you do not want them seeping in to what you choose to put into it, as it can be harmful for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I didn't know that until I read about it once and I was like, oh my gosh, because I used to reuse water bottles thinking I was doing something really good for the environment and for myself. And it's really crazy because like my intuition is so strong. I always felt a little weird doing it, but I didn't know why. And then when I read that, I was like, oh my God, I've been drinking out of this water bottle for 2 months every day. And like I have one by my bed. I have one, like I'll just have them around the house because I love drinking water and I like drinking like 7 glasses a day. And then to find out, now I use glass. But I just, it's kind of scary because you don't know what that'll do to your body long term. It's like, I feel like it's the next thing of, it's like, there's going to be cancers that kind of, how a lot of people smoked and then like 10 years later, like all these things came out about smoking. It's kind of like that. I feel like with plastic bottles because they are super new. And I know a lot of people reuse them, or they put a powder in there and reuse it for a sports drink, and they bring it to the gym, and then it's in your car and it's hot, and then it's cold, and then that's also kind of bad for plastics to go through all that wear and tear. And yeah, it's just crazy. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to come on and calling in. I need to come visit you. I,
That would be awesome. I'd love to have you down here.
where exactly? You said OC.
Yeah, it's kind of confusing, but you are originally from here, so or you lived here for 5 years. I live in Orange County.
Oh yeah, yeah. I kind of like drove right through there last week. I absolutely love that area, and I always keep in touch with my friends that live there because I'm like, I never know when I'm going to want to take a quick 2-day trip down.
I know, I love it. And this area too it's up and coming. People are very passionate about and aware about what they're doing and how their actions are affecting the planet and themselves. And so that's why I love being here too, coming back here from college. It has helped so much just me dive more, even deeper into my business and what its purpose is, because everybody here is so passionate about it and supports it, just like you.
Yeah, I think on the coast or in California, they think like, oh, like, kind of hippie. But I think it's because we are very close to the ocean. We're a little bit more in tune with our environment in a way. And, we do have beautiful forests around. And I have a lot of animals that like live in my yard. And I feel very connected to my home and in my town and everything like that. And so I think, living on the coast near the ocean, you can kind of you can see it. You can see trash on the beach. You can see, harmed animals and stuff like that. And I feel like, when you're out in the middle of the country and you're not really around anything and you just kind of have rolling hills, you don't really think about the environment as much, and so maybe that's part of it. But I do notice that here too, like everyone's super conscious. And, I was just in Bermuda, and like every single bar I went to, you have to ask for a straw if you really want one, but people look at you like, do you really need that? And I've taken the straws out of my friends' hands. Like I'm really passionate about when they go, and I know like a lot of people don't want to drink out of a glass and they want to save their lipstick and they want to look cute, but like not everywhere in California do you have reusable or biodegradable straws or made from plants. And so you do have to make a conscious choice, and you do have to say no to silverware, like the disposable silverware. Like when they try to put it in the bag, I'm like, no, I'll go home and eat my salad. I don't need to use another fork. It's going to go in the landfill. So, it is about like a conscious mindset and changing, all the little things you're doing. And like, do you really need to buy a water from the store that's disposable? Like just go, I have cups, I have reusable, like my tin ones. I don't know if people know this, but the stainless steel water bottles that you can get like anywhere now are actually, you could keep water in your car for 2 weeks and like drink it and it tastes amazing. And it doesn't really go bad like a bottled water would, or, in an open container. And so that's another thing that I'm just super passionate about. I don't buy bottles anymore because I see all those like poor animals, and I watch I've watched documentaries, and it's just like so horrible. But what else are you guys doing? Like, so this is your full-time gig for you two, both of you?
For me, it's not. I actually work part-time to support myself. Both of us right now are putting everything we make from this back into the business to help it grow. So we don't take anything out from it currently. And that's something that I'm sure, just kind of comes with starting your own business and being young and having it be kind of a startup feel. Being an entrepreneur, you have to put everything you make and your all into that business. So I work part-time in retail right now, and I do this probably 4 to 5 days out of the week, and my partner are around the same, and we just try and put as much into it as we can. I would hope that eventually this is my full-time gig, as I'm super passionate about it and I love doing it, and it feels great doing it because not only is it a business that I'm growing, but it's a business that has purpose. And that's why it's something that I'm super passionate about, is the sustainability aspect of it, the eco-conscious or awareness aspect of it. That's what really gets me excited.
That's awesome. Are you planning on being in any events or pop-ups, or can anyone find you guys anywhere over the next 6 to 9 months?
Yeah. So the best place to find us and to find our product and see what it's all about is on our website at perkbeautylab.com or on our Instagram at perkbeautylab. And we're mainly an e-commerce based website right now. We are both trying to get into kind of pop-ups and boutiques. We would love to have a retail presence with our scrub so that customers can find us there. And that's something we're currently looking into right now.
Okay. Couple places off the top of my head that I would say to think about getting into is West Coast Craft. It's a craft fair, and they feature. They have a fair. I think it's once a year, or maybe twice now because it's so big. But I believe it's in the Bay. I don't know if they do it outside of San Francisco, but I've been going for several years, and I think I'm going this year with my product. But they do sponsorships, like you can submit to be like nominated to go to be like, paid for, but their booths are like really affordable compared to like many festivals I've looked into and other trade shows. Like it's only a few $100s and you can sell at the actual show. Another place that you could probably look into is Honeybook. So Honeybook has a gift guide in the wintertime. So you could apply closer to October, November, and they have it all of November and December, and I think into January, and it kind of stays up all year, but it's free to apply, and you can basically like have your product up on basically another e-commerce site, but you can have your story, and they also do, it's for businesses and people that made a product, it's either handmade or, in the same realm as your company. And especially if it's giving back in some way, it's just a great place for creatives to go that are looking for gifts to also help another creative, because we know the struggle is real. And I totally agree. Like every dollar that I even make from my beauty business goes into my lash binder business, which is a lash tool that I've been working on for almost 3 years. It's been a long time, and I haven't even launched, and it's cost me a fortune. So I wholeheartedly support all of my other creatives, and I love the Rising Tide community because of Honeybook, and there's so many great other events too. I'm looking into the Alt Summit is great too. That's coming up in March. And maybe you could meet me in Palm Springs.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be a fun place. And I know that they're still like accepting like submissions and stuff like that. And then where else? There's so many festivals and stuff. And I know a lot of them do like trades and things like that, but it would be cool to kind of see you go on tour with Perk Beauty Lab and like see you kind of around the country doing different things with different events. And we would love to have you at our next sustainable project event too. I think we're looking to have an event this summer in the Bay Area, and our last two were hugely successful for creatives that were sustainable and had products. And I'd be honored to have you and feature your coffee scrub, whether you can be there or not, on display and just kind of showcasing it for the world. So I wish you both the best, and I can't wait to see what you do next. And I'm so excited for you. And thank you for, doing something that is meaningful in the world.
Thank you so much for having me on here. It's been a blast. And thank you for giving me all of these opportunities to look into.
Yeah.
I can't wait to stay in touch and see where this takes us.
All right. So that's it for this week's episode on the Clean Beauty Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. And don't forget to head over to iTunes to review, rate, and subscribe to the channel. Until next week, stay beautiful.